Urgent Washington Commanders fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Washington Commanders updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we've got some hot, up-to-the-minute news that could shake up the future of your beloved Washington Commanders. It's the kind of story that has fans buzzing, and believe me, it's not just speculation. We're talking about a potential blockbuster move that could redefine the defensive front of the team in the upcoming season. But before diving deep into all the details, let's set the scene and understand why this situation is so critical right now. The Washington Commanders have been building steadily over the past few seasons, trying to find that perfect mix of young talent and veteran leadership to push them into playoff contention. And while they've made some strides, especially on the offensive side with players like Sam Howell and a promising young core, the defense has been a mixed bag, particularly when it comes to rushing the passer. For years, one of the team's most persistent needs has been a game-changing edge rusher, someone who can consistently threaten quarterbacks, create chaos in the backfield, and elevate the entire defense's performance. The team's management, led by GM Martin Mayhew and head coach Ron Rivera, has been patient, relying on developing their existing roster, making shrewd free agent signings, and picking up prospects in the draft. But as we all know, patience has its limits, especially when the stakes are so high. The NFC East is a gauntlet, with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys boasting formidable pass rushers and aggressive defenses. To truly compete, Washington needs to add that extra firepower, that disruptive force that can turn games around single-handedly. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Rumors have been swirling about the team's potential moves in the offseason, with insiders suggesting that general manager Adam Peters might make a splash before the start of training camp. And no, I'm not talking about just adding depth or role players. We're talking about a serious, game-changing edge rusher, someone who can come in and immediately impact the team's pass rush. And one name, in particular, keeps coming up in conversations among NFL insiders and fans alike: Trey Hendrickson. Yes, that's right. The fiery, relentless pass rusher from the Cincinnati Bengals. Hendrickson, for those who might not be fully aware, has been a force on the defensive line for a few seasons now. He's an all-pro caliber talent, known for his high motor, elite pass rushing skills, and consistency. Over the past couple of years, he's racked up impressive sack numbers, often drawing double teams and causing chaos in the backfield. His work ethic is second to none, and he's a player who can elevate a defense simply by being on the field. But what makes this situation so compelling is his current contract dispute with the Bengals. It's no secret that Hendrickson's relationship with Cincinnati has hit a rough patch, and the situation has escalated to the point where he's made it clear he's not happy. Earlier this offseason, Hendrickson handed in a trade request, signaling that he's ready to move on if things don't improve. And guess what? The Bengals initially appeared willing to listen, even open to negotiations, but now, according to reports, the communication has all but broken down. Hendrickson was recently quoted by ESPN's Adam Schefter, revealing that Cincinnati is no longer engaging in talks regarding his extension. That's a red flag for any team interested in acquiring him. The frustration from Hendrickson is palpable, and it's clear that he's eager for a new deal, something in the neighborhood of $30 million per year, given his production and market value. So, why should Washington fans care about this? Well, simple. If Hendrickson becomes available, he could be the missing piece for Washington's defense. Imagine a front line with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and Hendrickson all rushing the passer simultaneously. That kind of trio would strike fear into any quarterback, and it would significantly boost the team's chances of disrupting opposing offenses. Hendrickson's addition wouldn't just be a short-term fix, it would be a statement that Washington is serious about contending again, about taking that step from a decent team to a legitimate playoff threat. But here's where the complications come in. The Commanders are not exactly flush with draft capital right now. They only have 5 picks in the 2026 draft, having traded away their second-rounder and fourth-rounder in recent deals for Laramie Tunsil and Marshawn Lattimore. That's right, their resources are limited, and pulling off a trade for a high-caliber player like Hendrickson would require some clever maneuvering. It's not just about cap space either, it's about the assets needed to convince Cincinnati to part with such a talented player. Hendrickson's market value, given his recent numbers, is estimated to be around $30 million per year, which is a hefty price tag for any team, especially one that's still trying to get its financial house in order. Now, I want to pause here and emphasize, despite the complexities, the situation is not entirely out of reach. Adam Peters, known for his strategic thinking and bold moves, might see this as an opportunity to make a statement. If he believes that Hendrickson's presence can push Washington over the hump, he could be willing to sacrifice some future draft capital, perhaps even consider offering some of his 2027 picks. It's not unusual in the NFL for teams to make aggressive moves when they're on the cusp of playoff contention. And let's not forget, Hendrickson's relationship with Cincinnati is approaching a breaking point, which could accelerate the timeline for a trade. In terms of team-building philosophy, Washington has often been cautious, but they have also shown they're willing to swing for the fences when the moment feels right. The addition of a player like Hendrickson could not only improve the pass rush but also serve as a leadership presence on a defense that's still searching for its identity. With new coordinator Jack Del Rio calling the shots, and a talented secondary developing under Ron Rivera's guidance, bringing in an elite pass rusher could be the final piece in their defensive puzzle. Of course, there are other factors at play. The team will need to clear cap space, possibly restructure some contracts, and weigh the long-term implications of such a move. But the bottom line remains, Washington's defensive line has the potential to be one of the league's best if they can add that extra edge. Hendrickson's name is the one that keeps popping up in discussions because he's proven he can produce at a high level, and he's hungry for a fresh start. Looking at the bigger picture, this isn't just about one player or one trade. It's about the mindset of the franchise. Are they willing to make bold moves to finally break through and become contenders again? The fan base is eager, and after a couple of disappointing seasons, everyone's craving that breakthrough performance, that signature win that re-establishes Washington as a force in the NFC. Hendrickson could be that game-changer, but whether it happens or not depends on a lot of factors: cap space, draft capital, and the willingness of Peters and the front office to pull the trigger. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Would you love to see Hendrickson in burgundy and gold? Do you think the team should go all in for a player of his caliber, even if it means parting with future assets? Or do you believe they should stay patient and build through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters. This is a team that's always been about resilience and fighting spirit, and maybe, just maybe, a move like this could spark a new era of success for the Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, deeper insights, and all the latest news on your Washington Commanders. We're in the offseason now, but things are heating up quickly, and every move, every rumor, could be the spark that ignites their next chapter. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders!